According to Fabrizio Romano, Dario Essugo to Chelsea, here we go. Agreements done with Sporting. Medical completed. 22 million fee for the 20-year-old midfielder to join Chelsea this summer and be part of the first team. Essugo will sign a 7-year-old deal. Quenda joins 2026 for 48 million fee. Now it looks like Chelsea are readying Sporting Lisbon. Obviously, this is what we expected Manchester United to do, because Amorim has a agreement with Sporting Lisbon not to sign any of their players this summer, and Chelsea has gone there and has already signed 2. And in as much as Dario Essugo is not currently at Sporting CP right now, he's at Las Palmas on loan. But this, I've always been critical of Chelsea signing young kids, but Dario Essugo is like it's kind of, when I'm not saying I'm watching him. I don't watch La Liga. I don't watch La Liga that much unless it's like Real Madrid or Atletico, and I don't watch Las Palmas actually. But from his highlights, I think he's a very, very special player. Now, I'm not the type to like hype up young kids. I don't hype up any of the young kid Chelsea signs, but when I watched his highlight, I think we could say like any player could look good on a highlight, but Dario Essugo is a player that I think that suits perfectly into what Chelsea need. But before we get into all that, first of all, like the video, make sure you subscribe. You get me? Because it goes a long way to telling the algorithm that you're doing something right here. And you could comment your thoughts on the comment section. But before I tell you why I think Dario Essugo is a good signing or a perfect signing for Chelsea, let's get to know who Dario Essugo is. Dario Luis Essugo, born in 14th March 2005, is a Portuguese professional footballer who plays as a midfielder for La Liga club Las Palmas on loan from Sporting CP. Wow, one thing funny is that I think we almost share the same birthday. It's a day. I'm 13th March, he's 14th March, and I'm not saying anything. I really love him. But yeah, Dario Essugo came from the Sporting Lisbon youth team. You get me? He played there throughout his career. He has played for Sporting Team B, and then he was promoted to the first team, and he was on loan at Chaves last season before he was moved to Las Palmas this season. Obviously, this is not the first time Chelsea were in for him in January, wanted to sign him in January, but for one thing or another, the deal didn't really go through. But now, this thing I'm about to say is one thing that is important for why I think he's a perfect signing. Now, according to statistics, Essugo has the best average rating of 6.94, making him the 5th best player on their team. His tackles, interception, clearance, area duels won all rank really favorable among midfielders in his position in Europe. And that, like I said, it's a very, very important for what I'm about to say. Now, Dario Essugo when you see Dario Essugo, you see him, I see Kante. Sorry, I see Caicedo. When I watch him, I think he's a mix of Caicedo and Declan Rice. I'm not trying to this is not me trying to like overhype him. But one thing I like about his game is that when I watched his highlight, I felt like I was watching Caicedo, because he was very, very good on the ball. He can play some good passes. He can play long range passes, long range shots like Caicedo. He can bully players. His interception, his clearance, his area duels, his tackles. And this is a player like he's very, very energetic. And if you noticed, we have a problem this season when a player like Caicedo is not in the team, or when a player like Caicedo plays like from the minute 1 to like 60 minutes, there is no player there to like come in and take it and continue from where he stopped, or a player that we could bench to give him a rest. Caicedo has been playing the most matches this season. See, trust me, today we are playing Arsenal, is going to play. Minus that this is an international break. If we are going to play on Thursday, Caicedo is going to play. You get me? He has no rest. And Essugo is a similar profile to Caicedo. I'm not saying it's Caicedo, but he is a similar profile to Caicedo. He can do what Caicedo does, maybe not as the way Caicedo does it, but he has it in him. He's very, very energetic. And if you notice, when most of our players, we don't have players of that profile, players that are very, very energetic, players that can run around the pitch, players that can fill up grasses, players like Kante. We don't have much of them. We have few of them, and most of them are injured now, and you can see that we are really suffering. Players like Romeo Lavia, very energetic. He's always injured. Players like you can look at Jackson, because the pressing he gives us up front, no one could offer such pressing from him. His hold up play, his link up play, but that's a story for another day actually. And if you watch Dario Essugo, I think he's a very combative midfielder. For me, he's a very combative midfielder. I think Chelsea recently signed Quenda. I'm like, do we really need Quenda? We have Extova coming. We have a lot of wingers, but that midfield position is a position that I think we should have added bodies. Now you can say Santos. And Santos is coming back. And Santos is good for me, but I think I think if we have someone like Santos and Dario Essugo in the squad, it won't really be a bad option. Now Santos is more of, he's combative as well, but he's more quick. I would liken Santos to like more of a Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. And that brings me to Enzo Fernandez. Like, watch now when we have Enzo Fernandez in the team. Now, Enzo Fernandez is a very good player, very silky player. When it comes to his long range passes, they are good. When it comes to like his vision, is good. But one thing that everyone has actually questioned about Enzo Fernandez is his work rate. He doesn't have the best work rate. He's not the kind of player that you're going to, even though recent weeks we have seen him run up and down the pitch, make markings, and try to be combative and stuff. But that is not his natural position. I think when I see Enzo Fernandez, I see him as a what's the word again? I see him as a he's a sexy player. He's not like Caicedo that does the dirty job. He's a very sexy player. He doesn't do the dirty job. I think I see Enzo Fernandez more of a creative than a DM, where Poch played him last season. But I don't see him as a DM because he's not that. He doesn't have the dog in him. But Essugo fits the profile. I think Santos coming back is equally an option. A lot of people might be saying, are we buying Essugo to sell Santos? I don't really think so. If you watch our midfield, Romeo Lavia is often injured, and we moved Cassidy, who don't really fit into what Maresca is trying to build. Now I think we need a lot of bodies in that midfield. Comparing how many matches we play next season, I think everyone will get a chance. Obviously, when the season ends, 2 weeks after the season ends, we are going to the Club World Cup, so we need as many players as we can get. Now we might not be having preseason, so the Club World Cup alone, and if we qualify for Champions League and the Premier League, FA Cup, Carabao, like, this is a lot of matches for us to play. So I think we need as many players as we can get. Not just as many players we can get, but like players that suits in the profile, players that can do the job, that can help the team. And for me, I think Essugo, in as much as I have been complaining that we have been signing a lot of kids, like today is Sunday, and when I talk of Chelsea, I see us as a Sunday school, because the amount of kids you are signing is ridiculous. The amount of kids in that club is preposterous. I'm telling you. See, Chelsea is a motherless baby home, no doubt. But you see this kid, Dario Essugo, is a player that I'm really hyped up about. I'm really happy. I want to see what he can come in and offer the team. Like, if you haven't seen him, I think you should go check up his highlights, or maybe watch him once in a while. But like, for me, I think he's a very good signing. I've been critical of the ownership and the board and the way they are doing business, and I'm still critical of them. I don't think they have done the best business. You get me? In as much as we need Dario Essugo, I think we still need a striker. But Dario Essugo is a player I'm really excited about. If we have him and Santos, we have better energy in that midfield. Alongside with Romeo Lavia, it's gone, bro. It's gone. So yeah, here's the video. I hope you enjoy it. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you after the match. Goodbye.